A Jasper business gets the green light for tax abatement, the Ferdinand Community Center hosts another community conversation, and Kurt Guxell previews Jasper baseball at the state finals ahead in sports. Those stories and much more are up next here on 18 WJTS News. Hello, I'm Bradford Raths. In your news, another Jasper manufacturer is seeking a tax abatement as they plan to add jobs and expand this next year. Jeff Barth, the president and CEO of Jasper Chair, told the Jasper Economic Development Commission this morning that his company plans to add as much as 30,000 square feet while adding 3 jobs in the process. Barth is requesting a tax abatement for over $1.2 million in combined real and assessed property values. The company plans to construct a 22,000 square foot central receiving area along Vine Street and a 7,500 dry lumber storage area that's expected to be finished by April of next year. Investments planned by the company include updates in equipment technology as well as new equipment to be added. The expansion will create 2 manufacturing positions with an hourly pay range of $13 to $14 and 1 management position at $16 to $18. The commission gave the go-ahead for a 9-year tax abatement. Barth says construction will begin on the additions within 60 days of the final approval of the tax abatement by the Jasper City Council, who will take up the issue at their next meeting scheduled for next Wednesday at 7 p.m. in Jasper City Hall. Jasper Chair becomes the latest in a number of companies to take advantage of the city's tax abatement program since it was established nearly 2 years ago. Others include Kimball International, Stens Corporation, and Meyer Distributing. This afternoon, the Ferdinand Community Center hosted a new community conversation. This follows a 3-part series of community conversations last fall. Those sessions each focused on a different aspect of the theme, the importance of place. The topic of this community conversation was Soul of the Community, Factors that Attach Residents to Their Communities, which is in response to a study done by Dr. Catherine Laughlin for the Knight Foundation on what attaches people to their community. Dr. Laughlin, who was the featured speaker for the event, says she learned from her research that attachment to community has to do with not only the things that are always discussed, but the softer side of place that drives attachment to communities.
I think some of the biggest things that I learned from my research is that it does have to do with not only the things that we always talk about in cities, like potholes and garbage collection, but it is those softer sides about place that really seem to matter and really drive people's attachment to their place. So do we have the things to do that engages people? Are we aesthetically pleasing? Do we do a good job in creating a place that people can feel proud of? And are we welcoming? Do we do a good job of being welcoming to all different kinds of people? So, and those things seem to have an impact in creating a community that does economically better than other places.
Tune in to the 18 WJTS News tomorrow for more coverage from today's community conversation. Providence Home Healthcare Center in Jasper has recently hired a new director of nursing. Dawn Nordhoff, who began her career in the early 1990s as a certified nursing assistant, will take over the reins. In the years after becoming a CNA, Nordhoff obtained her QMA and then her licensed practical nursing degree and stayed in skilled nursing for another year. She then moved on to hospital-based acute dialysis nursing, where she worked in the areas of bariatric, cardiac, and intensive care units for those needing acute dialysis. She also returned to school and graduated with an associate degree in nursing and moved into a hospice/oncology unit while maintaining work in dialysis, and also moved into a management position. Nordhoff later went back to school again, earning a bachelor's degree in nursing, and went to work at a skilled nursing facility in order to open and staff an acute care rehabilitation unit, or ACRU. After only 6 months on the job, that nursing facility offered her a director of nursing position. She worked there for 3 years before applying for and being offered the job at the Providence Home Healthcare Center in Jasper earlier this month. Dawn and her husband Scott recently located to Shoals in Martin County. The Nordhoffs have 2 daughters and 2 stepdaughters. For more information regarding the services of the Providence Home Healthcare Center, you can contact Nordhoff or the administrator Mike O'Brien at 482-6603. Help is wanted at the Ferdinand Police Department. The department is seeking new officers for its Police Reserve program. The program is an opportunity for those looking to jumpstart a law enforcement career. There is also a possibility of getting the opportunity in the future to work for the Ferdinand Police Department on its full-time force. Reserve officers receive training necessary for the law enforcement field and are put into real-life situations with full-time Ferdinand police officers once they complete their training. Those who wish to apply for the program must be 21 or older, have at least a high school diploma or GED, and must complete the application process. This process includes a physical agility test, a background check, and drug and alcohol testing. Applicants also must have at least 18 hours per month available to give to the Ferdinand Police Department. If you are interested in applying, you can download the application at ferdinandindiana.org. Filled out applications may be returned to either the Ferdinand Town Hall along Main Street or the Ferdinand Police Station on 10th Street. All applications must be turned in or be postmarked by June 30th at midnight. Tomorrow, the St. Henry Heinrichsdorf Fest will open for this year's two-day festival. The event is set to start tomorrow night at 5:30 p.m. with the opening of the food line at the Catholic Knights of America Hall. Barbecue chicken, pork chops, fried chicken, lemonade shake-ups, and ice cream will be among the food items available from various vendor booths that will be set up. Kids games, a ducking booth, and a bounce house will open at 5:30 as well. St. Henry Heinrichsdorf Fest coordinator Josh Meyer says this event is important to raise funds for the St. Henry Community Club.
Well, it's without a doubt the primary fundraiser for the St. Henry Community Club. So the funds generated through this fundraiser go a long way as far as funding community improvement projects. We also use that money to host several events throughout the year, kids activities. So without this fest, all of those things in and around the community would be impossible.
Saturday's activities will start at 8 a.m. and will feature a 4.1-mile fun run walk and 101 Country WBDC's first Cornhole Tournament of Champions of the season, which will start with registration at 1 p.m. and throwing is set for 2 p.m. Meyer says people are encouraged to come out and see what the Heinrichsdorf Fest is all about.
I'd just like to encourage everybody to come out and join us. According to the forecasters, we've got an excellent weekend weather-wise in store, so I'd like to encourage everybody to come out and join us and kick off the summer with some good food and live entertainment.
The food line will reopen Saturday evening at 5 p.m. A beer garden and kids games will also be available on Friday and Saturday evenings. Live entertainment both Friday and Saturday nights will be courtesy of The Hiding. The band is set to play from 7 p.m. until midnight, both Friday and Saturday nights. Finally, tonight we bring you our weekly presentation courtesy of Purdue Extension. Tonight, we take a look at Purdue's Small Farm and Agriculture Team, a group that works closely with the increasing number of small farms across the state.
As a beginning farmer myself, even attending a land-grant university for my degree, the first thing I did was I walked into my county extension office and asked what are the resources for small farmers in Indiana that Purdue has to offer.
Well, when I was the assistant director for the Agri-Natural Resource Programs, it was quite obvious that this need for sustainable agriculture and for small farms was growing in the state. And so it was just time. It was time for Purdue Extension to step up and to try to incorporate our educational needs into that overall effort.
The team formed, I guess, basically with Tom Jordan pulling together that group of educators and specialists and farmers. Part of it was from an advisory committee that Tom had set up for the SARE team, for SARE, for Indiana, and then expanding that team to other educators and specialists.
The purpose of the Small Farms Sustainable Agriculture Team is to look at the needs of educational programs for people, small farmers, for sustainable ag practitioners, and to develop those educational programs and deliver those educational programs to the clientele of the state of Indiana.
The most exciting part of being on the Small Farm and Sustainable Ag team has really been the chance to work with a very diverse group of specialists and educators, and to try and find ways to address the needs, very diverse needs, of Indiana small farmers. And so it's just kind of an ongoing effort to pull those, to identify what those needs are, and then try and find ways to bring whatever resources we have to addressing those needs.
One of the great things going on in Indiana are all the innovative small farmers. I sold at the Bloomington Community Farmers Market for a couple of years as a local grower, and just saw an amazing amount of innovation going on in small farms. And that was very, very inspiring to me to actually go forward and move into this role as a local foods coordinator, because I see that there is so much innovation going on, and that we do need to work, Purdue needs to educate and provide resources for these growers to keep doing what they're doing with better, more coordinated assistance. The Small Farms website will be the place where you will be able to find many of those resources that are related to small farms that Purdue has already produced.
Once again, tonight's presentation is courtesy of Purdue Extension. Coming up after the break, great weekend weather is in store, so you can keep those outdoor plans. More on that ahead in your local forecast. Sports with Kurt Guxell, and Kelly Johnson of WBDC discusses the start of cornhole on Inform. That's all up next here on 18 WJTS News.